Kindred Nerds, and welcome back. We are your hosts, Claire and Kat, and today's episode is all about community. Not only are we a community of Kindred Nerds, but we're also nerds about community in our favorite fandoms. Today we're going to chat about the power of community within our favorite fandoms. So let's dive right into a Cantina Corner.
Hello and welcome to the Cantina Corner. Today's episode is all about communities. So, in this Cantina Corner, we are going to have a lighthearted discussion about our favorite communities in the fandom worlds. Claire, I will ask you to start. In any of the realms we discuss, what is your favorite race that you would probably like to join in real life?
So I think if I were to pick one race outside of a hobbit, I would probably have to select a Togruta from the Star Wars realm. I think mostly just because we have Ahsoka and Shakti, who are both such big role models in the Jedi Order, and they're both have such an elegance to them, and that I find very admirable, and I think that I would kind of want to be a part of that world as well. I think, and I love seeing the mountains and being immersed in forests. So I think being a part of a colony that is not like mega urbanized is extremely appealing to me. What about you, Kat? What race would you like to be in any other fandom?
I'm gonna stick with elf. I'm not gonna deviate from my previous episode answer. I just love the elegance, the uh, heroism, the artistic culture. Everything is so sophisticated and sleek and clean, and they, I don't know, they make everything beautiful. Living in the trees, I'd definitely be like probably a woodland elf, probably.
From
But
Mirkwood?
yeah, maybe. I find there's a lot you can learn from the elves. You know, they really take pride in their culture and their history. They work together and they almost like a beehive, you know, they're very well at organizing themselves for efficiency and for evolution. They're good at like with training. Yeah. I strive to be an elf, man.
Yeah, and I think when we were talking about this in the previous episode, you have a good use for immortality. You've got a lot of hobbies that immortality would benefit from. So I
Absolutely.
kind of agree. I think you're right up the elf alley. Yeah, that's a great choice.
I don't know if it'll ever not be my choice, to be honest.
Hey, consistency is nice too.
Yeah, it is. Well, that was a quick trip to the Cantina Corner. In light of your
That's
answer,
okay.
Claire, what would you be ordering today? What kind of drink?
Oh, maybe some blue milk, seeing as I would like to be in the Star Wars galaxy. That'd be
Mm,
pretty nice.
I wonder what it tastes
Maybe a
like.
blueberries?
I almost picture something like super sweet, like agave. I don't know
Ooh,
why.
yeah, like a sweet milk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
nice.
I would order a martini. Not very elfish, but it's very sleek and
It is sleek.
crisp.
It's yeah, and like there is a tidiness to a nice, neat, clear beverage that does suit elf life.
Yep.
I can just see you sitting in like Rivendell with your nice little cocktail glass. Extra olives?
Extra olives and a gin. A gin martini. Not a vermouth
Ooh.
lady.
foresty, elegant. That suits your
Oh,
wood elfness.
I love it. Curated. If only it was here.
Amazing.
I love that. We've got more to talk about communities, though. There's so much to dive into. And in that case, I think we better have some second breakfast.
I agree. Alrighty, Kat, here we are, ready for some more second breakfast. Let's dive a little bit more into community in real life and in our fandoms. So, okay, Kat, so here we are having our second breakfast where we're going to
Mhm.
dive a little bit more into into community and what it means to us in real life and what it means within our fandoms. So, I'm going to start off by asking you, what is it about fandom that brings people together?
Um, I think it's the fact that fandom transcends boundaries. You could be various ages, backgrounds, in different places of the world, different languages, different personalities completely, but you find each other in a safe, welcoming space. It's not about what's going on outside in the world with fandom. It's about the messages and the power coming through these stories that we all love. We share
I
it
love
with
that.
youth. There's youth oriented Star Wars shows, for example. There's now, I know of people writing D&D aimed at youth. That's, and you've got people that are generations above us that are interested in these things as well. Like the people that saw Star Wars in the theaters when they were 15 in 1977 or whatever it was. You've got all of these connections and it's really powerful how it brings us together despite all of those differences. It really centralizes that unity and the messages behind it. That's what I love.
Yeah. And it also kind of makes me think about how we met and how we may not have had that connection had you not realized that I was into the Lord of the Rings universe. And I know
Absolutely.
I also said on a previous episode that I managed to find the nerds at my day job, and it is not necessarily unexpected, but it is really nice to find that connection with somebody who is as passionate about similar things as you. And who knows, I may not have ever found these people had I not put myself out there and had I not gotten Lord of the Rings things inked on my body forever. But you're right, it does transcend boundaries, and it's a good bridging point between people to help foster that connection.
I find the older I get, the less interested I am in topics and conversations that don't serve a purpose. And there's certain things that people want to discuss that is so unworthy of my time and attention. But if somebody comes up to me and starts talking about Lord of the Rings or Star Wars and the messages and cool things that you see in these worlds, that serves me so well. That just ignites happiness and excitement and all the pleasurable emotions that you love to feel in life. And I could talk about it with somebody who's like 12 years old or with somebody who's like 70, honestly. So it's nice to foster that connection and connect with humans that are completely different than me.
Yeah, I love that. You said that, and that made me think of like, especially with the variety of ages that we find. When I bought my first lightsaber, I was with you, and then the first time I had my lightsaber with my Ray costume on, and I told myself, I was like, somebody needs to take a picture of me and send it to, and I need to send it to my friend because her nephew loves Star Wars, and he's gonna love seeing that I have a real lightsaber type of thing. And I think it's cool that sharing that with people. like you have said.
What are your favorite ways to connect with other people in the fandom world?
Um, well, it's like you said, like shared experiences. For me, myself, I grew up playing a lot of video games with my brother. And yeah, we don't live in the same house anymore, but we still are able to connect by playing games with each other.
Hmm.
Whether it be like we grew up playing Minecraft, so it's nice to connect while playing Minecraft again. I've recently reignited a bit of a Mario Party thing, so just getting together for an hour, hour and a half playing Mario Party, even though we're not in the same house, it's
Hmm.
just been a lot of fun to connect through gaming. And there's so many different kinds of games out there. It's almost
Hmm.
like there's a game for everybody. So finding ways to connect with people through gaming and through that shared experience is probably one of my favorite ways to
Hmm.
connect. How about you?
I will reiterate that gaming is huge, but you went with me to my very first Comic-Con, and I remember distinctly you looking at me before we entered, and you're like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready." And you're like, "I really don't think you're ready." And as soon as I walked into that door, I was like, "Oh my God, I am not ready." But it was like one of the best days ever. And I swear to the heavens, it is very much in my future. Like once Comic Cons, so part of why I like running so much is the energy, the races, the people. There's so much happiness. There's so much like positive vibrations all around you, and you feel that in Comic Con. Like people aren't there to cause distractions. They're not there to be anarchists or push negative views upon you. They're just there because they freaking love it. And you can feel that in the room. Everybody's so passionate. Everybody's so involved. And like the cosplay costumes, the hours of work that people do this. I want to cosplay more. That's like a
Yeah.
bold transition that I never, ever, ever thought I would be interested in. But I am enthralled by some of the stuff people do out there.
I
So,
agree.
Comic Cons.
I agree. I also would like to get into cosplaying more, and just like you said, it was one of those things where it's like I don't think I'm ever gonna get into this. It looks like so
Hmm.
much work, and then I inherited a sewing machine and started to teach myself with little things, and then I went, okay, I guess I'm going to start cosplaying because I want to, and I want to be able to dress up as a hobbit and make my own corset for it.
Yeah.
So I love that you touched on conventions because it is a shared passion amongst everybody.
Yeah.
And I think these spaces are so positive because of the fandoms that are involved with connecting people. There's always some sort of positive message coming out of it.
Hmm.
And those people are always going to be some of the nicest ones that you meet.
Oh my God, yes. They value things that are worth being valued, in my opinion. Sure, there's the aesthetic side of things because you're dressing up like somebody, so like you're trying to emulate their visual appearance. But it's not a I look better than you type situation. It's not like a
Yeah.
competition of who is the most creative, most fit, most whatever. It's everybody being so passionate and so excited for themselves. And at various levels too. In Comic Cons, you have like animators going there, you have cosplayers, you have just fans, you have artistic creators, comic book creators. Like you have, it's just a wild world of different levels, but everybody's there with a shared interest. It's, oh, now I really want to go
And
to a Comic Con again. Like now.
I know, quickly before this thought leaves my head, when you go to cons and things like this, you see how much work other people are putting into it, and you can
Hmm.
see how excited they are to show it
Hmm.
off. And it's another one of those energies that just ripples out, and you just feel the, like you said, you feel the energy, you feel the excitement, and it, like, glass half full, I can't help but pump people up like, oh, it
No.
looks amazing. Like, I love this, I love that. It's definitely a very positive energy to be a part of, and I feel very privileged to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Remember when we went and we got to play with those lightsabers? Because the guy was just like, "Oh, you're so excited. I'm excited to show you these." And it was just so contagious. And
Yeah.
he took our picture, which is in our Kindred Nerd intro clip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I remember specifically seeing him get excited by how excited we were. And it's a great environment for fostering that good energy amplification.
Yeah. Well, and if I even remember correctly, me being a little bit more of a shy and timid person, I didn't want to. He's like, "Do you want to try one?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And then you just like jumped in, and then he was all excited about it, and you were all excited about it. So that kind of helped nudge me outside of my own comfort zone. Because in my head, I'm like, "Oh my God, there's so many people around. Like, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what to do with it." And then the excitement that I felt for vibrating off of the two of you kind of brought me out of my element,
Hmm.
and we ended up having so much fun, and I ended up buying my own lightsaber. So amazing. Very quickly before I ask you on my next question, I did want to touch on tabletop RPGs as a way of connecting with people. So for the listeners, I this calendar year was introduced to D&D. It was something that I had seen little bits here and there, and then I'd watched the episode of Billy and Dom's podcast where they had Sam Riegel on, and it was just like, okay, my internal monologue was, I think I'd have a lot of fun with this. I want to learn. I want to learn. So I'd ask my brother because I know he has played before, and I was like, "Can you teach me D&D?" And it was just an instant yes. And then both of us were feeling so excited. I was excited to play D&D after making my first character. When I realized how everything can be so individual
Hmm.
and how the game works and everything, I was like, "Oh, this is great. I already love it, and I haven't even played a lick of it yet."
Yeah.
But what sticks in my head the most is I am now a part of my first campaign with not a lot of people I don't know. The only person that I know going into it is my dungeon master. And it was very nerve wracking to go into it being like, okay, I don't know anybody. I'm shy. What am I going to do? And I found by the end of our first session, I was very comfortable with these people. And I found it much easier to come out of my shell in
Hmm.
that role playing lens of I have an objective, I'm playing as a character. And while albeit my character does echo me in some ways, it also put me in a position of, well, my character doesn't know any of these people either.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that really helped me feel a little bit more comfortable with
Yeah.
people. So that having that shared experience is a great way to pull yourself out of a tough spot, or maybe give yourself a bit more confidence in your abilities than you think you have. So, continuing on with our conversation about community, why, Kat, do you think fandoms connect people so deeply? What is that driving force?
Nerd culture normalizes passion.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Being
Beautiful.
really into something is celebrated and not weird. It's it's that energy, it's that contagion of excitement. It's elating, it is comforting, it is all the happy all the happy energies mixed into one. There's so many different
Yeah.
areas you could dive into, like we said, cosplaying, like we said, dungeon master. Like there is something for everybody in there that you can dive into and get really into it. And the more into it you
Mm-hmm.
get, the more this community is right there behind you saying, "You are so awesome. Thank you for joining our
Yeah.
community," essentially.
Yeah. And it's kind of bringing me back to episode 1 where it's like be brave enough to suck at something.
Yeah.
And yes, we are being brave enough to suck at having a podcast for now. But where I guess I'm going with that metaphor is you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And being within these communities, it's very much a, like you said, thank you for joining our community. But you're going to find people that are like, oh, you need help? Let me help you, kind of
Yes.
thing. You and I are learning to sew together, and I'm a little like, I'm like maybe I have a few more months under my belt than you, but we're still going back and forth. Hey, I'm stuck on this. Can you help me? And we help each other to the best of our abilities over video chat. Uh, but it just is a way to bring people together. And especially within this community with fandom and cons and cosplay and everything, everybody's so excited to see your journey.
You have that support system behind you that's saying, "You're great. Keep going. You're awesome. You'll get there." It's not,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you suck," or "You shouldn't try," or "Maybe this isn't for you." It's,
Yeah. When I was first learning how to use my sewing machine, I had made a baby quilt with my aunt. And what she had said to me, and it sticks with me, is if anybody has anything bad to say about that, kick them in the shins and say, I'd like to see you do better.
it's true.
Like, yeah, not all of my stitches were straight, but I made something for my first niece, and they got great use out of it.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know what? I tried, and I can only get better from here, as we continue to say. So if somebody has something bad to say, screw you. You
Essentially,
know?
that's it. Yeah. I think what resonated there when you were talking about your baby quilt, it reminded me of running. Um, you start out, you put in a lot of hours to get incrementally faster, but you do it and you do it. And slowly but surely, we have something between us that says, like, we're 1% better today, you know. But if you continue the consistency, it's so key and it gets one, two, three, four. If you give up after one, you're never going to get anywhere high. Just keep
Mm-hmm.
going. And I think this community truly preaches that and truly supports everybody in that venture.
Mm-hmm. Effort goes a long way. And I've even stopped saying, um, I've taken it out of my vocabulary. It's not practice makes perfect, it's practice makes progress.
Yep. Yep.
Because perfection is extremely hard to meet. It's very unlikely that you are going to be the best in the world at something. Even from my first job at 16, I was told, you're never going to be perfect at something. There's always room to improve. And I've carried that with me for the last 15 years of my life was, you know what? That's right. Like, I can be good at something. You're never going to be perfect at something. And that's okay. It's totally okay.
It is okay. I took some university courses in philosophy and talking about Socrates. And it was something along the lines of the man who knew everything knows nothing. And that was very pivotal in my self-awareness. Might think you know everything, but you don't know anything. And I correlate that to the aspect of perfection as well. I strive for perfection. I am a perfectionist. I am very detail oriented, but I don't ever actually think I'm going to achieve perfection.
That's a big own up, though.
I
We
highly
don't
am.
have to be perfect.
And speaking of not being perfect,
That's okay.
I might have said something in a couple episodes back that was a hard realization to get over. I said it was Mary who convinced the Ents to fight for Middle Earth. But it was indeed Pippin.
And I will say, listeners, I didn't notice that oopsies until I was watching it for the first time after being posted. But
Neither.
you owned up to it. And I understood where you were going with your statement because I don't think I would stand up to the Ents at the Ent moot. So, for the purposes of our Merry or Pippin segment, I see your point, and I'm okay with that oopsies because, again, I would not do that to myself because Treebeard could step on me and I'd be toast. So,
And for the record, I would still pick Mary to take the ring. Moving on.
that's okay. We can have different opinions on the matter. Um, one last touch up of
Yes, yes,
community.
yes. Um, I think to end the segment, community and finding your own fellowship is so important. And we often like to look at the fellowship from the Lord of the Rings as a metaphor. Everybody is unique. Everybody brings their own skills and talents, but they come together and they're united by one quest.
Amazing. That makes me kind of, especially with the fellowship as a metaphor for community. And I love that you touched on that everybody's different and has different abilities. And it just kind of makes me think where I'm trying to switch my narrative, which I have been working really hard on for the last year, is that the sooner you realize that everyone is unique with differing tastes, hobbies, and knowledge, none of us learn the same two things in our life, the happier you will be. When you come to realize that everybody is different, it stops being about who's right and who's wrong, and it just becomes one joint experience with other people.
Absolutely. It's a shared human experience. And I think we
Yes.
often we separate ourselves as humans. We kind of categorize ourselves into different personalities, people, personas, and somehow we've created this thing that different people can't be friends or work together or be in the same community, but we're all just part of the human race, every single one of us. And I think a huge goal for everybody should be trying to find your authentic self. Because your individualism, your own skills, your own talents can be brought forth into a community to be made stronger. You don't have to replicate somebody else's to feel like you need to fit in because you are a piece of the puzzle. You fit
Oh,
in and bring your own identity. And we need you to do that for,
it's a very good metaphor. You're a piece of the puzzle to make the bigger picture.
yes.
And you hit the nail right on the head there with community and what it means.
You know what? I didn't go in with that metaphor, but I like it even more because if you think about a completed puzzle, if you try to be another shape, if you try to be another puzzle piece, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is their own piece. So find your authentic selves, people, and be unapologetically you.
Amazing. I love it.
Claire, I think it's time for Roll for Random.
Ooh, roll for random.
Grab your die.
Are you ready to roll for random?
I'm very much ready. Do it, do it, do it.
That's a 6.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Who is the most powerful non-Jedi in Star Wars?
Oh, don't ask me that. I can't believe you're asking me that question right now. I do
Well,
have an answer for that. I would like to hear your answer first.
um, Lando Calrissian.
Hey, that's a good answer.
He's rich, he's clever, and for the record, Donald Glover was perfectly casted as
I
young Lando.
know. I know.
I would watch a movie just about him. They should. Why haven't they? Come on. Okay.
I feel like there was a rumor about that being in the talks for Donald Glover to be Lando again.
It'd be so good.
I
So
know, right?
good. Go ahead. I could see you like frothing at the bit.
Who I think would be the most powerful non Jedi character is one. I'm going to butcher the saying because I can never figure out how to properly pronounce his name. Mithra Nuruodo, aka core name Thrawn. He is so elegant. He is smart. He dedicates all of his work to studying the enemy, studying the worlds that he is coming across. Politically, he's not particularly adept, um, which he can make up for, but it's like you said with Lando, there's charisma there. There's intelligence. There is strength there. As you see in Rebels, you see him taking out his security bots for training.
Assassin
So
droids.
that is who I think is the most powerful non-Jedi in the Star Wars universe.
That's
I
beautiful.
am beyond thrilled that he made it to live screen. He was definitely in Rebels. I was like, oh, this is the best. This is the best character. I love it. I love the way that he is portrayed, and I am just even also more thrilled that they had the same actor in Rebels that voiced him in Real and then in Ahsoka. Because I think his voice has a lot to do with the elegance
Hmm.
of him.
Oh yeah, it's
But
perfectly suited. No, he's
that's my
pretty good.
answer.
I love it, and I know you're going to deep dive on this later. Your love of Thrawn, because it is a
Massive.
yes. Um, why did I pick Lando? I love Bo-Katan too, and obviously Mando, and also
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett. Like, there's some like
There's
they're
too
all not.
many.
There's too many, but I picked Lando. I'm gonna stay with it just because it was the first one that picks in my head, and I kind of think outside the box and in said regard. But and I think I wanted to be a little bit abstract there,
Hey, that's okay. I still
but
think Lando's pretty badass answer.
just the most powerful, maybe not, but maybe I just relate to him and I want him to be uh, respected and admired for who he is. It
I love
works.
it.
It's random.
Yeah, it's random. It's roll for random.
It's roll for random. Love it. I love talking about community with you today. Another topic I can just talk about all the time. I think this is such a good idea to merge our fandom loves with some of these real world topics that kind of need to be highlighted in today's world. So this is just really filling my cup. And
I'm happy that it is filling your cup.
I appreciate these
And
chats.
the the fact that we have bridged reality with fantasy and with fiction, I think also just really highlights that there are a lot of the similar topics within
Mhm.
our fandoms that are also within reality, and it just goes to show that there is a lot to learn
Oh,
from
so
our
much.
fictional media.
So much. So much.
Thank you again for listening. Please rate, share, subscribe, and maybe tell us if you have a story about when fandom and community were a big part of your life. We would love to hear about it. Feel free to comment on any of our posts or interact with us on our socials.
We'll see you next time. Remember, find your authentic self because we need you.
We do. We're here for you. We want you. We see you. We hear you. Come join us. Bye.